Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mr. Right0844 and this is episode 2 of our Banished playthrough. Last time we set up the foundations of our little village, survived our first winter, barely survived, but that's still a W. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I highly recommend checking out episode 1 first. I've dropped the link in the description and that'll give you a full breakdown of what this game's all about and what we're doing here in this series. Alright, let's jump right in and see if we can keep this village alive. Alrighty, here's our village of Wrightville, as you can see up here. This is basically all we have so far, right? So we have our Forester Lodge over here still under construction. Our trading post still under construction. It looks like we just need a little bit of iron, which we'll go ahead and set the parameters to gather that right now. Looks like we have a bunch right here. We'll get this all taken care of. So the future plans for this village right now, as I'm seeing it, what we'll do in this episode is we'll kind of expand the town to the right this way, right as the camera angle is. We'll kind of build an industrial production area along this river winding into here, you know, kind of keep it like a realistic, kind of like what you'd see in the real world back in the days, where you'd have like all the industrial plants dumping their hazardous materials in the water. Don't recommend doing that now because we now know the health implications of that, but all of our hazardous materials will flow down this river into our bigger river, which will then take it away from our village all the way into our neighboring cities which we trade with. How exciting. Pollution is an amazing thing. But now I'm gonna create bridges to get over and access this area of the land. We'll get like an iron mine right here against this side of the mountain. We'll have our quarry bordering it. We'll have a stockpile here. Nah, we won't put a stockpile here. We'll put one just across the river so that the main townsfolk have access to it. And then we'll create like a neighborhood that's still in the influence of this market here. So we'll kind of have like a neighborhood kind of going around this way up towards the farm. We'll probably put another barn here just so that there's quick access to the market, so that the guy that's going to be carrying all these resources and stuff isn't running all the way up and down these roads back and forth all day. We have crop production finally. We got one guy, sorry, working on our crop field right now. 3 fishermen. And we have, where is our hunter? Gatherer's hut. We have a hunter's hut, and our hunter, here he is. 1 hunter. I'm thinking of taking this guy up hunting because I don't think hunting provides too much food. We can look at our 200. I mean, that's pretty good actually for 1 guy. Maybe we keep the hunter. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll keep the hunter. We'll have 1 guy working on seeding the crop fields in spring that we just got up. Well, let's get into it. Alright, and we're back. We have basically the outline of the village all laid out. We have our mine set up over here, our quarry over here, central stockpile location right here, so that we have pretty good access to our iron and coal mine and our stone quarry. For our workers to be able to drop the stuff off over at the stockpile, and then these guys over here in the blacksmith, the tailor, and all these other future working areas that we're going to set up downstream to be able to grab from. Additionally, we have our hospital set up over here. We have our town hall set up right here. This is where basically our town center is going to be for this portion of the town. We have our market, our town hall, hospital, and then over here we have a chapel, a schoolhouse, and a cemetery. And as you know, if you watched episode 1, we had some tragedy in the first episode. We had some of our guys starving to death, some of our gals starving to death, and some of our children starving to death. It was not a pleasant first year here in Wrightville. We still have this trading post that needs to come up. Just off to the right of our town hall, we have another little neighborhood coming up. We're going to have 6 houses to start with. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're facing each other so that I can put roads right down the middle of them, around the edges, and then we could do kind of like a 6 house grid. So we'll do a 3 by 2 grid for all of our houses. That'll be coming up over here. We'll probably add some more farmland over here, a little bit of fishing in a future episode. We'll keep expanding until we run out of room and resources. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward and watch some of these guys build, and we'll be back. While we're waiting for a lot of our buildings to build, I got a little bit of feedback on the first video, and it seems like a couple people want to watch a playthrough with mods. I haven't really played modded Banished at all. I've dabbled a little bit in a few of the smaller mods that really aren't super big. But I'm 100% willing to dive in, learn some of these mods out, make some content on the mods as well, like a modded Banished playthrough. If that's something you guys would like to see, go ahead and drop a comment below and just let me know. Right now we're experiencing a lot of death in our village. We're down to 8 total people, which is no good. All of our fishermen seem to be surviving throughout the hunger crisis that we're having here. So we'll see how this goes. We have 6 adults right now able to work. We just got another child, so now we're back up to 9 people. So little dip in population, but it's steady increase, steady increase. But right now I've slowed it down just a bit, just due to our huge population decrease. It seems like we're pretty good on firewood, considering we only have 3 households to supply right now. We have, oh, we just lost another person to starvation. And our laborer and one of our farmers. This is no good at all. I think that I'm going to go ahead, drop fishing down, put farmers up, and we are going to try very, very hard to be able to survive through this food crisis. They're harvesting right now, which is why I pulled guys off fishing to farm. The one thing now is I don't have a market worker, which I'm going to need. So we will go ahead and put this guy that was fishing onto the market, since we're going to have all these potatoes now and only a few mouths to feed. Got to prepare for winter. Not looking too hot right now, but it happens. It happens. We'll have a pretty good comeback, I could tell. Episode 1, we had a pretty good handful amount of people, about double the population. And we're dwindling now. Winter is finally hit here, though, in our village, and the crops are slowly dying. We gathered a decent amount of food. We have about 244 pieces of food stored and only 7 people to feed. So we might be doing pretty well. Let's follow the life of Raylight, the fisherman. Dropping fish off at the house. You know, those supplies are for the villagers, buddy. Not just you. We need to share. Sharing is caring, and sharing is what the name of the game is when you're gaming with survival. Alright? So, let's hop out of here. We are on the struggle bus as much as you could possibly be on the struggle bus right now. These children are going to grow up. They're going to become adults. They are going to join the workforce. When they do, we'll have 7 laborers, right? We don't have any immigration into our village. None of these villagers are going to be coming from the outside. They're all going to be coming from inside of the village. So that means that these children are going to have to make relationships either with each other, and there's an odd number. And this is an even number. So someone's either going to be left alone, or these children are going to be marrying these adults. They're going to be having children. And then those children are going to have to grow up and have children with those children that were the children and are now the adults. And these adults are going to have to reproduce either with each other now, but it doesn't seem like they are. Otherwise, we'd have our children population increasing, right? So now we're going to get into the weirdness of this, right? So now, are these arranged marriages? Or, I don't want to say it, but it's like, you know, some Alabama stuff going on here. Whatever. We'll step away from that conversation for now. Our future vision is looking really good though. You know, if you just kind of ignore everything that's happening in the background, our population declining, our food being not enough to sustain our village, none of our resources coming through because all of our workers are having to focus on our resource shortage and downfall. We're looking pretty well for our future vision, right? And now we're basically just talking to get our mind off the fact that our village is ultimately failing right now. It's crazy to think that these deer can just seamlessly cross through this water. Wow. Wow. I guess if a tree does fall in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, it does indeed make a sound. And man, really, really, really need these children to grow up. And I know growing up sucks because then you have all these responsibilities. You're no longer just a kid freeloading off the survival environment anymore. You're now contributing to the success or the downfall of Wrightville, right? It's a lot of things. It's a lot of responsibility to throw onto the shoulder of a child, you know? We have to let them enjoy the little things in life, especially in a world like this where you're living in a harsh environment. You don't want them to grow up having to struggle and work and not being able to play and enjoy their lives. Now, by no means, I'm no professional gamer, survival gamer, city builder, whatever. I just like to play for fun. Already, we have one more adult ready to join our workforce. Just as we were talking about the children needing to cherish their lives, well, buddy, your time is up, and you now need to work. Lannis. Lannis is a fisherman. Alrighty. Ooh. Lannis is a woman. She definitely needs to start reproducing because we are in a population crisis. She's the one that just became the adult. So if she's not working hard at reproducing, that's crazy actually. Now that I'm looking at this, that she just became the adult, right? Here, let's go ahead and pin this if we can. I can't. There we go. Here, Lannis is 11 years old. She was just 10. And she is 11. And she is an adult. And it looks like she did reproduce. We're going to ignore that situation. We're going to act like that never happened. We didn't just find out that the children become adults when they're 10 years old and they start reproducing immediately. Alright, look at our little farmer's farm. Here they go. They are currently losing all of the crops due to freezing temperatures. But that's fine. We have a significant amount of food now. Look at this. Look at this. Almost 800 pieces of food stored. I don't know if that includes. It definitely includes what's in here. Well, actually, we'll see. Let's see. Does it include the houses inventories? It has to, right? So, okay. So we have we have 880 pieces of food stored now, right? So I hope that all of you guys and your playthroughs of Banished in the future understand the importance of having a good food production chain established early on. When you're playing Banished and you're starting out your village, what do you start out with? You start food production, you start firewood, you start trying to get to the end game things like maximizing your tool production, iron production, resource production. Like, what is your go-to strategy going out and starting a brand new Banished game? Drop those, drop your comments down in the comment section and let me know. Okay, so, you know, we're playing Banished. We're having a population crisis. We're having a food crisis. You know, those are kind of like self-induced things. You know, I didn't really focus on food, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. Banished just decided that it was like, you know what would really help Mr. Wright 0844 out? Would be a tornado touching down near the town. It's really giving me the full experience right now of full hardcore survival games. But I do not see the tornado. It looks like the rain is subsiding, and it looks like there is no damage to life, limb, or structure. Would you guys look at that? This is our first year in which we went from harvest to harvest with a surplus of food. which that can only mean that now we'll have an even bigger surplus this year, potentially. We've had a few more children born. Our population has now gone from 6 to 11. We've got a couple more laborers. A couple more children have turned into adults. A couple more children have been born. So now we have a full farm staff, right? All 4 of our working slots are filled. Now, I'm going to keep those slots filled because I have all this area to remove with all these resources. On top of that, when the farmers can't work because it's out of season, they will automatically go into becoming laborers, while still maintaining their role as a farmer. So that way, right when the farming season hits, they stop their laborer task, they come over to the farm, they plant, they harvest, they go back to being laborers, right? We need to start firing babies out like a machine gun. Alright, so here we are back at late winter. You know, I'm no clown, but I'm starting to get really good at juggling all this resource production, right? So our plan failed. We were not going to be able to do full labor in the winter with our farmers. We had to actually move all of them to being fishermen and hunters because our food production started to drop rapidly. So now it just turned early spring, so I'm turning all of the fishers off and putting them into farming. Right, they're going to plant more potatoes, hopefully get some more food. We're still going to keep this hunter going. We'll have the hunter going year round because it seems like the hunter actually does a pretty solid job at gathering food, surprisingly. So we'll keep that hunter going, get these dudes back onto the farming. The only issue that we're going to run into now, right? We don't have a blacksmith. If you've noticed, we've run out of tools. We have 0 tools, which means now that work is going to be done significantly slower and less efficiently. So hopefully it doesn't really impact our production too badly to where we're not able to maintain our food supply. But see, first citizen right here, he ain't got a tool. He has no tools. He is not going to be making firewood as well as he should be making firewood. Like, what are you doing? You have a tool in your hand, but you have no tools. See, I think you're just being lazy now at this point. But whatever. All because at the beginning of the game, I wanted to build houses and cool buildings, and I didn't want to build a farm. That's whatever. Things happen. It's the nature of the game. You know, that being said, I think this is a good ending point for episode 2. The downfall of Wrightville. Episode 3, we're going to turn this downfall around, and I will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please leave me feedback in the comment section below. Anything really helps making these videos better. I appreciate it. Mr. Wright 0844 out.